to take action on sustainable projects.
Talk Today is brought to you by Subway, open 24 hours in Countryside, Anderson Square in Georgetown, and Centennial Towers in West Bay. And by the Ministry of District Administration, explore your history, explore your land, explore your sister islands. And Cayman Airways, call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. And now, Barbados. And Digicel, Cayman's bigger, better network. And Doctors Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066.
But I do have some questions.
There are more questions than answers.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program.
Talk Today.
What is on your mind, Cayman? If you are ready to talk, we are ready to listen. Here's your host, Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Welcome and thank you very much for joining us on another magnificent Monday's edition of Talk Today as we invite you to be a part of a discussion. It's going to be open line until 1 p.m. and then from 1 to 1:30, our good friends from the Lions Club of Grand Cayman will share with us. And then 1:30 onwards, it'll be some more open line. So 949-8837 or 949-6990. You can call and share your thoughts. We'll give you the WhatsApp in a bit, but it's 925-3261. It's a quick preview. Stay tuned for Talk Today.
Talk Today is reminding you.
Avoid any statements or comments which are abusive, derogatory, malicious, or defamatory. Do not use indecent language or make any statement that is false or misleading. Call 1-800-534-8255, 949-6990, 949-8037, or WhatsApp us on 925-3261.
Email Talk Today at candw.ky. Let your voice be heard.
And now, back to Sterling Dwayne Ebanks, Radio Cayman Talk Today.
Welcome back and thanks for joining us. We want to engage you in a lot of our discussion today. Sorry about that. Arm is still hurting. I'm so sorry. 8949-8037. You know, it reminds me that we have an excellent example before us in our parents and our siblings, and hopefully we set the scene for our children in terms of exhibiting a strong work ethic. But sometimes we have to ask ourselves, is that out of that valiant demonstration, of a commitment to our jobs and honoring our obligations, or is it something else? Anyway, share with me. The more I hear from you, the less I can think about what this thing is feeling like. A quick reminder, though, from the Ministry of Education and in particular the Scholarships Secretariat that the Overseas Scholarships deadline is this Wednesday. It closes at 11:59 or midnight. So today's Monday, you got Tuesday, you got all day Wednesday, but please get them in. So a special appeal from the Scholarship Secretariat that the deadline for the overseas scholarships closes on this Wednesday. Before we take this call, let us just say to you, if you have any questions, there are two numbers you can call, 244-2492, 244-2492, or 244-2482. They reminds us that you don't need to have proof of acceptance just yet, but just need to demonstrate that you have some communication with the university. And a special appeal to our parents to just check. We want our parents to be involved, but the children to be independent. Check that their students, their children, just about ready to submit their online applications. And that's going to be for overseas scholarships, school starting, this year, September or January next year. Want to take the call? Should we take the call? I think we should. Let's go right ahead. Hey, welcome. Thanks for calling.
Thank you for taking my call.
Oh, thank you so much. Not only for, calling, but just give me a minute to remind our students about the overseas scholarship. So how are you today?
Good. Well, I really wasn't going to call on the scholarships, but since that was a topic first, I would like to say I don't know why they're giving these scholarships to Cayman children, because when they come back here, there's no job available for them. So why are they telling people to come and apply for scholarships? When the kids come back or the children come back, there is no job waiting for them. They have to leave, go to another country, or come back and be in a replacement somewhere else. Can you tell me why they're handing out scholarships and there's no jobs when the children come back?
You know, you make a valid point. Some have also asked, well, we say it's only Caymanians who were granted scholarships, but some have questioned, not just this year, last year, or all the years up to now. Is that truly the case? But to your point, to what extent have we developed a system that ensures that the students have meaningful employment? Now, education in and of itself is certainly invaluable, so maybe having them educated would be better than, laboring in ignorance.
Well, a lot of them that come back have degrees and they have excellent records, and I don't know why other people are being replaced with people that have degrees and even have experience.
Mm-hmm.
We have people that's working here that don't have a bit of background education, and yet they're filling all of the government posts. I really don't see why they are calling our kids to go to get a scholarship. When they come back, they're replaced by some other nationalities, and I think we, the Caymanians, should be replaced first. But anyhow, on the other note, I know they had a beautiful Heroes Day, and I think we should start with our heroes first, because in the 1950s, a lot of Caymanians went to Trinidad to work in the naval base at the Home Guard. And I am thinking that these men, most of them are gone on. I don't know if Anna is living now, but they still have offsprings that can be standing to receive their heroes awards.
Mm-hmm.
So I am appealing to the government, first of all, before they start getting every Tom, Dick, and Harry to come in and get an award, they need to start with the people that made this island for them to come in here and enjoy it. So I am thinking whoever is in charge of the Heroes Day festivities, they need to start looking at our heroes that are buried and gone, that made this island a paradise for all of these people to come in here. There's lots that's going on. They have family members, they have grandchildren, they have nieces, they have nephews, they have brothers that are still living. Come on, let's get a list. We know the people. Get a list, hand it to the government, people who is in charge. We want to see a monument built for our national heroes, and they are the Caymanians that went to the war to fight to make this island what it is today, even though it's not really what it was in those days, but it's still a piece of paradise for everyone to come in here and enjoy. So I am appealing to anyone in government to find a way that we can get those poor people names down, and we want to stand to know that we have to have our heroes first before any other so-called heroes come in. Thank you, Sterling, for listening, and I'm going to listen to hear what the other people have to say. Thank you.
You're most welcome, and thank you for sharing it. If we listen to not just her impassioned plea, but that sense that we have failed and perhaps continuing to fail our people, not only by very importantly recognizing the contributions of those who have given all, but that example that should be for those of us who are coming along. If we don't see, as she shared, any point sometimes in doing something we may believe is a fait accompli, so why bother? And then that could translate into all of us as parents, as we make comments, sometimes out of frustration, sometimes just thinking that we're talking in that quote unquote safe space in our homes amongst our friends and family and closest of all. But our children hearing that may misconstrue exactly what was trying to be conveyed and what was communicated, but perhaps they themselves experience it, as the wonderful lady shared. We send our children off to university, not only at great financial cost, but that personal cost as well of time and investment, and then they return not only to finding that they don't have employment, but others who are less qualified are being employed more quickly. Or when they do offer an opportunity to be employed, it is such that it's almost what's the nicest way to put it, in the most of unwilling way. What do you think? Well, our phone lines are available if you want to call and share your thoughts. 949-8037, 949-6990. You can WhatsApp call us. You can WhatsApp message us. You can, send a voice note on the WhatsApp. That's the platforms we use, 925-3261. Now, I do recognize in the world in which we live, we're bombarded by much and much of it. Really is not only senseless, much of it, to a great extent, is probably construed to divide and disconnect. Probably in a past era may have been considered to be, propaganda. I don't know, but I'll opine on that in a second, as our good team behind the table, finds the way to connect the green wire to the blue wire and unify the country. If I had the camera in my hand now, I'd take a picture. Look like one of those, auction houses where they take in multiple calls. And back in the day when the phone was connected to a cord, connected to a base, and they only have two hands, two ears, but many many phones in one hand. I laugh. Maybe you see the picture. Well, let's take this call. Hey, welcome. Thanks for calling.
Good afternoon, Mr. Sterling.
And to you, my friend. How are you today?
Oh, boy, I tell you, I don't know what to say. I agree with the lady, But fortunately, I say fortunately, we got a lot of, we as Caymanians, some people don't know about it, but we as Caymanians, we're mixed with a lot of, people from different countries. We mix.
Okay.
My great grandfather, his name is out by Hero Square.
Right.
He was from Barbados. It's a very important and serious history too,
Yeah. Hey, can I ask of you? Let me see how best I can word this. Given that we are mixed, today you'll find someone from here married to somebody else, or two people from different countries married and live here. To what extent, though, do you think that mixing, two different nationalities, they intermarry, but they're living and working here? To what extent, being Caymanian, in Cayman, this is where your bread is buttered, your head, rested at night, so whenever you do rest. How important is it that our people then that are here unite, find that this is the common ground, and the Cayman and Caymanian and the Cayman Islands becomes their primary focus? Or yeah, or is it that we look at things and say, well, I'm from here originally, so even though I'm in the Cayman Islands, my affinity, my loyalty is for that space and that place. Cayman is just convenience. Or is it that we're here, we're not asked to forget our history and our heritage and otherwise, but our loyalties and love need to lay with where we are now?
Well, me and this young gentleman were talking yesterday, and we were talking about like men having girlfriends, for example, getting women pregnant. Well, they could be from different countries, and I don't want to get into that.
No.
But,
fair enough.
But
what we can do?
My great grandfather had a lot of children, and man.
Yeah, man.
But sorry, go ahead.
No. I was gonna say, we talk about whatever it is else that you wanted to talk about, and we can get into something else another time. Or what else you want to share with us, my friend?
Switch. I wonder how sweetheart doing though.
All right, well, put it together.
Miss Swift, how is she doing? I've been hearing something about Miss Taylor Swift.
Yeah. I could tell you, I wouldn't probably be the best person to ask. She sings well, and she certainly made a wonderful contribution. But very few didn't really matter anymore. Let's follow instructions and take that break, and then we'll come back. We take the next call. We chat with you in a bit. All right.
All right. Okay.
All the best, man. All right. Stay tuned.
Discover your dream home with Cayman National's home loan. Get up to 95% financing, repayment up to 40 years, and just a 0.5% commitment fee. Your interest rate? Depending on your risk factors, it'll be fixed or variable. Plus, you get a pre-approved credit card. This is a limited time offer. Dial 949-8300 or email lending@caymanational.com today.
You know, as a little girl, I dreamt of traveling to faraway places and foreign lands. I tell you what though, no more dreaming. I'm going flying with Cayman Airways. How blessed are we in the Cayman Islands to have a very own national airline? Girl, you can fly to so many international destinations without the hassle of connecting flights. On top of Jamaica, Cuba, and Honduras, you got non-stop flights from Cayman to New York, Miami, Tampa, and even Denver, Los Angeles, Panama, and child, they now have Barbados. Going to be a little cafe con leche and Hollywood Squares for this old girl.
Make your travel dreams come true with Cayman Airways, offering non-stop flights for non-stop adventures in Panama, LA, and many more places in between. For details and to book, call 949-2311, contact a travel agent, or visit CaymanAirways.com.
She hear clunk and her car stop. I was just about to send her some money, so I send it straight to her JN money transfer card. It cost me less, and perhaps she use the card, pay the garage right away. She'll get discount through the JN Rewards program in Jamaica. This card make things easy. You can even get funds at any multi-link ATM.
JN Money Transfer Card. Fast, affordable, convenient. Tell your loved ones in Jamaica about it. Sign up is free.
From boat days to beach gatherings, leave the catering to Subway. Choose from small and large sandwich platters, double meat wrap platters, and top it off with optional cookie platters for dessert. Or ask about our Subway box to go with the option of 6-inch or foot-long sandwich, 1 cookie, and 1 bag of chips. For all occasions and celebrations, let Subway focus on the food so you can focus on the fun. Visit subway.ky for catering options. Subway. Eat fresh.
At Doctors Hospital, we know life happens, and usually when you least expect it. So when unexpected medical issues arise, you need quality care close to home. Located in the heart of Georgetown, our accomplished team of physicians and medical staff treat minor urgent conditions such as migraines, chest and abdominal pain, shortness of breath, burns, broken bones, open wounds, and more. 24 hours, 7 days a week with no appointment necessary. Peace of mind is important when life happens. At Doctors Hospital, we're always here just for you. Need to speak to someone? Call 949-6066.
Barbados always feels like summer. Every day it's endless vibes as you immerse yourself in the Bajan culture. Discover new adventures and make lasting memories. It's only an aisle away, so make sure you book your trip on February 6th and get $200 in digital credit to spend on experiences, dining, and local shopping. All you got to do is go to www.bookbarbados.com/feels like summer. Once again, that's bookbarbados.com/feels like summer for more details. Terms and conditions and blackout dates do apply. Now back to you, Sterling.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Hey, welcome back, and thanks for joining us in this open line. Let's go straight to the calls. Welcome, thanks for calling.
Hi, you forgot your lunch and rest hour.
How are you?
Okay.
All right.
So everybody does so much commercials. You Radio Cayman paying you guys?
Well, I'm hoping that our revenues have to contribute to the, the government's coffers, and we'll see, man. We'll see. But Radio Cayman is certainly the most popular radio station with the most, and I guess the largest reach in terms of audience,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Probably.
I think so.
All right. I'm giving you A+ for that right now. I'm going to cut off some of them commercials and give you A+.
Well, maybe somehow we can restructure it to be more accommodating, but let's see how we can do that, right? So talk to me. How's everything? How was your weekend?
Wasn't bad. Nice rain. still getting some, which is well needed. Yep. Yes, and I want to hit on tourism a little bit.
Okay.
I'm not educated on it now, so don't hit me too hard with your questions. Okay?
I'll just
I'm
listen.
Talk from my point of view.
Okay.
You know, we had the craft market down there on Boilers Road on that property that belongs to the Kirks, and it wasn't the most decent craft market I would say, and for tourism, knowing that what we is, just the second pillow for the Cayman Island tourism. What's the first one, banking? What's the first one, banking?
I don't, it would appear sometimes, from our statistics that financial services, as we know, encompassing not just the traditional banking, is not only a great employer, but as an industry, a great contributor to government revenues. But many have asked, where are the opportunities, where the upward mobility, and the wealth that is being generated and created. How is that positively impacting the rest of us? Likewise with development,
Well, I'm going to joke before I go back to what I want to say to you. I when I talked to you on was it Thursday or Friday, I just pulled in the Foster's, so I thought I was going to get some lunch, so I went inside the Foster's and there was a lady in there, and when she saw me, as she saw a ghost, she said, "Did I just heard you on the radio?"
You see that, huh?
So she said, she said, "You look like your car." I said, "Yes." I mean, she, all we could do is smile and laugh at each other. And I said, "How do you know it was me?" She said, "I know it was you." I'm like, "Okay." But when she saw me, she was like, I didn't know what she was expecting me to be, but she saw a ghost when she saw me. What a mess. But anyhow, go back to tourism and which pillow is the highest and which one is the best? I'll put it that way, okay?
Right.
And going back to the Ballers Road, they would have had these tents, and they had that ground there for craft market. And it was a leased property, and nothing much could have been done on the property, I assume. I'm not fully sure, I assume. And now that they gone over to the Tower Buildings property and turned that into a craft market. Follow me? Follow me? Okay. Now, I just crossed there. I just noticed it on Saturday. They got this two real tall, extremely tall posts in this sign saying, I think they say Cayman Craft Market. Sterling, let me tell you something. That's an insult to the people of this island and to tourism. And you know why I say that? It's because they have this huge tent there. And these people there sitting under this tent. They got no protection from the rain, like how they had up on Ballers Road. They got no toilets there, no hand washing basin there. I see one little portable toilet pushed in a corner, and look like a security booth is pushed in a corner there as well too. So what I'm trying to say is, Sterling, if we are here depending on tourism, we are stuck on pillow or third pillow or fifth pillow, we need to do better than we are doing. We need to stop sitting down thinking, okay, the boats are here, and we're going to get our head tax off of those boats, and to heck with what else happened, apparently, here in Cayman. That is the feeling that I am getting for being out there with these people, and if I'm not even working and driving through the crowds and observing left, right, and center, which I'm a very good observer now, my eyes hardly misses anything. I really think that that's a slap in the face that they're going on that Tower Building and just put up this big old huge tent there, and when the rain comes down, I don't know what happened to the people's stuff, but it's just not nice. It's very unbecoming for this rich little island we call home, and all these investors who's coming here building left, right, and center, but yet tourism is so defendable for this island, and we cannot give those guys something more better and proper to go and sell their little couple things to make an honest dollar.
Yeah. Well, one of our listeners shares, said, you're so right. The makeshift market is shameful looking.
It is.
You know.
And Sterling, down at Hell the other day, we must have had about roughly 4 or 5 of the big old majestic buses in there and some small buses and so forth. I have never seen that place so compact from I've been going down there. And it was kind of good, but then again it was bad because the place is so small and there's no one there directing traffic to say, well, you know what? We got 4 cruise ships in today. We're going to get someone to come down here and we're going to have these big buses go over to the Club Inferno yard, which is Hell too, and park these buses and these people can walk over to the Hell place.
Mm-hmm.
Up in there was like sardines. I am not saying it's bad and I'm not saying it's good and has an indifference. But the fact of the matter is that place needs cleaning. Down, Hell, grounds, post office, porch. It's a disgrace.
Mm-hmm.
The chickens are running left, right, and center. I came on here and begging for someone to do something in regards to those chickens. They want to do that for show and tell. Got a nice cage and put them in and get someone down there to feed them and make sure they have water to drink and the visitors want to go there and take pictures with these chickens and so forth. It's cool. The big old piece of property that the Club Inferno is on, who that belongs to, I don't know. But that's how government can go and rig up all these things. We don't want to rig them up when they're ready. They can go rig up something down there by Hell.
Mm-hmm.
They can rig up something down there. But it was amazing to see the buses. It was a kind of good bad feeling, in a kind of way.
Yeah.
But then again, it wasn't anything much of a lot of purchasing because of just these small gift shops there.
Mm-hmm.
But I know it's all about these Hell rocks that they want to see. But then again, a little souvenir too would be nice if they could get into the stores. The stores are small, and I mean, we just got everybody just in the stores just cram up everywhere. Look at the dispatch location. They don't have enough space for the taxis to park up there, the buses to park up there.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody's working on tourism. They're just looking at them other heads there with those cruise ships, and the check comes in and goes down to the wherever they go, the glass house, and they get a deposit and it clear and bam, we good to go again. But we got to look at what we are offering. We're offering very little.
Mm-hmm.
Cleanliness comes first, including that royal pair. Talk about that another time.
All right.
But anyhow, I know it's probably your break time, so I'll let you go.
Thank you, too.
Oh, one thing before you go, Sterling.
Of course.
Sterling,
Yes.
we have some umbrellas in town for the cruise ship passengers. They haven't been put up in a while. I wonder where they are. What happened to all those beautiful umbrellas? It was hardline off down at the North Terminal, going all the way down to South Terminal. I wonder if somebody can call and tell us what happened to those, call you and tell you what happened to those umbrellas and why they're not out. All righty?
All righty. Well, thanks again for listening. Take care. Have a good afternoon. You. All right. And with that, let's just pause quickly. When we return, we invite you to rejoin us. Please stay tuned.
From boat days to beach gatherings, leave the catering to Subway. Choose from small and large sandwich platters, double meat wrap platters, and top it off with optional cookie platters for dessert. Or ask about our Subway box to go with the option of 6-inch or foot-long sandwich, 1 cookie, and 1 bag of chips. For all occasions and celebrations, let Subway focus on the food so you can focus on the fun. Visit subway.ky for catering options. Subway. Eat fresh.
Discover your dream home with Cayman National's home loan. Get up to 95% financing, repayment up to 40 years, and just a 0.5% commitment fee. Your interest rate? Depending on your risk factors, it'll be fixed or variable. Plus, you get a pre-approved credit card. This is a limited time offer. Dial 949-8300 or email lending@caymannational.com today.
At Doctors Hospital, we know life happens, and usually when you least expect it. So when unexpected medical issues arise, you need quality care close to home. Located in the heart of Georgetown, our accomplished team of physicians and medical staff treat minor urgent conditions such as migraines, chest and abdominal pain, shortness of breath, burns, broken bones, open wounds, and more. 24 hours, 7 days a week with no appointment necessary. Peace of mind is important when life happens. At Doctors Hospital, we're always here just for you. Need to speak to someone? Call 949-6066.
Wouldn't it have been grand if you had purchased land 30 years ago? It may not be 2020, but a perfect vision has never been more clear. Cayman Brac and Little Cayman, poised for growth with an eye on the future. Your land, your history, your future. Discover all that our sister islands have to offer.
You know, as a little girl, I dreamt of traveling to faraway places and foreign lands. I tell you what though, no more dreaming. I go in flying with Cayman Airways. How blessed are we in the Cayman Islands to have a very own national airline? Girl, you can fly to so many international destinations without the hassle of connecting flights. On top of Jamaica, Cuba, and Honduras, you got non-stop flights from Cayman to New York, Miami, Tampa, and even Denver, Los Angeles, Panama, and child, they now have Barbados. Going to be a little cafe con leche and Hollywood Squares for this old girl.
Make your travel dreams come true with Cayman Airways, offering non-stop flights for non-stop adventures in Panama, LA, and many more places in between. For details and to book, call 949-2311, contact a travel agent, or visit CaymanAirways.com.
February 14th. Not only is it Valentine's Day, but also the 55th Annual Agricultural Show returns to the Stacy Watler Pavilion in Lower Valley. Save the date, Ash Wednesday, February 14th. Fellas, you know what she wants? More plants. Ladies, you know what he wants? The food. And what better way to tire the kids out before Valentine's date night than at Grand Cayman's biggest one-day family fun day. The 55th Annual Agricultural Show returns to the Stacy Watler Pavilion in Lower Valley, Wednesday, February 14th. For more information, visit them on Facebook or caymanagriculture.ky.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Hey, welcome back, and thanks for joining us. Some more minutes of open line as we go up to the headline news at 1, and then good friends from the Lions Club of Grand Cayman will join us from 1 to 1:30, and then open line again. As our guests, their schedules sometimes change, without plan. So we have to pivot, as we say these days. Well, what's on your mind as that intro ask? What is on your mind? What is out there? Who's thinking and willing to talk? Who is, unfortunately sometimes talking, and as they talk, they wish they had given us some thought, but share with us. 949-8837, 949-6990, or you can WhatsApp call or message 925-32621. One of our listeners, in reference to the last caller, was saying that agreeing with the caller that makeshift market is shameful looking, as being managed by the Port Authority and heavily being underutilized by them, and perhaps a multifunction facility would be the best use. Now again, with that message, with the caller and the one prior, perhaps collectively, you can see a common thread in that they're saying, well, what are we doing, for our country? And not just now, but for future generations. Are we laying a solid foundation from the educational opportunities that are being afforded to the employment and fulfilling, rewarding lives that our people would lead, to a sense of purpose? Many hearing the question being asked would be offended. It's been asked for decades. If you go back to our print media of yesteryear, 50 years, sometimes even earlier, but even if you just limit it to the last 50 years, you realize, one, the issues that were being considered or talked about then are still being today. Are we any closer to resolving or even acknowledging? Some would say no. Some would say that it's even become worse, because not only have they been compounded, but we've added more to it. And when we ask that question, that inflames many, for whom are we developing? Who are we developing for? Some would say, well, is it benefiting people? Or when we see, people who are increasingly feeling a sense of despair, hopelessness, Are they on the verge of being depressed, clinically depressed? Not, how we so sometimes loosely and casually, without offense, just say, feeling depressed. But to that point where they no longer feel that they can properly function. Is it the overwhelming sense of, what is transpiring around them? Is it the fact that they feel that they're being bombarded by so much? And then we look at the crime, and are we willing to turn a blind eye and say, well, that's just them? Well, them and us, one and the same. And it's happening in our society. If you step back for a second and look from outside, do you think people, whether they are, individuals who've never visited Cayman or know nothing about, or people who are new to Cayman, or people who are here but are, in their minds, not from Cayman, or are here and have some piece of paper, do they see it as making them Caymanian, quote unquote, or as a convenience? And when they look, all those people, are they pointing and say, well, that's them, and they identify the district or the particular part of the district, or are they looking at them as being Caymanians, people from the Cayman Islands? It's all happening in the Cayman Islands, irrespective of which island that negative thing is transpiring, or which part of that island. Because if we were to step back, it's a collective impact on all of us when it's a negative thing that is happening. Now, how do we address and acknowledge that? Well, first off, we need to realize that it's happening. The idea that we are seeing so much negative things happening globally and increasingly within our shores, are we hoping, we can get out before it gets worse? And for some, with the greatest of respect, it's not just that they'll get out physically and leave this country for, other shores, is that they look at their age and stage in life, and either A, they say, well, they're living on borrowed time, or B, they're nearing retirement. But we all have something to contribute. And if it's a positive contribution, would it not be, I guess, incumbent upon us to at least attempt to do so? One of our listeners, writes and says that in relation to another underutilized facility, we look at the space where the Catboy Club, and the land it is sitting on. Now, we know that the property just to the north of that was acquired by the government, and there's a proposal to develop that, as is a proposal out in the sports area to develop a wellness facility. But how are we utilizing our properties and the cost to quote unquote develop them? And how are we ensuring that it brings us value for money? We gathered that towards the end of last year, the government purchased a number of properties on the coast, on the beach, to preserve. There are many who would have seen that endeavor as a good attempt, and is it possible to do more? But are there things that we can do to ensure that our coastline is still accessible, that whenever it is in a private hand and it's being developed, that it's done so in a way that certainly would bring, returns to the developed property, but not be a blight on the landscape, not negatively impact the seas and surrounding shores. Well, we can talk, but it's important to talk together, talk with each other, and not talk at one another. And as much as it's important to talk sometimes, we need to listen with the listening ear, with the intent, to listen, to understand, and not necessarily to respond. And then when we do respond, it's to respond in a way that's engaging, a respond that elicits more information with the genuine intent to partner, to contribute, so that the outcome, back to the first wonderful lady that called, and she said, the men who went down to Trinidad, served during World War II. Whether they're here or not, they have families that are still here, but then their contributions in and of itself were valiant and deserving of being recognized and rewarded, not only for their efforts, but for the example that they would set before us, for others to be likewise inspired. Maybe it is that we're so busy trying to trade water that we can't think strategically and constructively. Maybe it's unfortunate that as a people we have become, more selfishly minded and no longer our brother's keeper. Well, it's on each individual to see what, as an individual, we can do that is positive. I've always believed that if every person did as much as he or she can do in a positive way, then everybody, at the end of the day, would end up in a better space. All right, as we get ready to go into the break for our headline news, we invite you to come back for the discussion with our, good friends from the Lions Club. The immediate past president and the president will join us. We talk about a number of things that they have going on. And then 1:30 to 2:30, well, not just fastening seatbelts, but perhaps, get ready to contribute more, given that we end in this first month of the year. Today, when you think about it, it's only a few more days, today, tomorrow, and Wednesday, and the month of January, well, that's it. There's no more. All right, stay tuned for Talk Today.
Radio station. Radio Cayman is the voice of the Cayman Islands. From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines. Local, regional, international news.
With your latest headlines, I'm April Cummings. The governor joins the police commissioner in speaking out against recent gang violence. In a statement, the governor says violence of any kind puts the safety and security so highly valued in the Cayman Islands at risk. Her Excellency Jane Owen reassured residents the full might of the RCIPS has been deployed in solving recent cases and bringing the perpetrators to justice. In international headlines, Russian figure skater Kamila Valieva was disqualified from the 2022 Olympics today, almost 2 years after the teenager's doping case caused turmoil at the Beijing Games. She's also been banned for 4 years. The verdict from the Court Arbitration for Sport means the Russians are set to be stripped of the gold medal in figure skating's team event. U.S. took silver in Beijing and is expected to be upgraded to gold now. Japan took bronze and Canada placed fourth. A dying thief who confessed to stealing a pair of ruby slippers that Judy Garland wore in The Wizard of Oz said he did it because he wanted to pull off one last score. He's expected to stay out of prison after today's sentencing. Terry John Martin is 76 and stole the slippers in 2005 from the Judy Garland Museum in the late actor's hometown of Grand Rapids, Minnesota. He believed that the shoes were adorned with real jewels. However, they were not. The FBI recovered the shoes in 2018 when someone else tried to claim a reward. Martin wasn't charged with stealing them until last year.
More news available at www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Radio Cayman Headline News.
Radio Cayman is pleased to feature this special Sister Islands historical vignette brought to you by the Ministry of District Administration and Lands. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your Sister Islands.
Radio Cayman's historical vignettes was brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects.
Radio Cayman is pleased to feature this special Sister Islands historical vignette brought to you by the Ministry of District Administration and Lands. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your Sister Islands.
Explore your history, explore your land, explore your Sister Islands, the ultimate staycation experience. Your culture, your freedom, the land that time forgot isn't gone. It's your Sister Islands.
Discover all that our Sister Islands have to offer.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Hey, welcome back, and thanks for joining us. And thanks too to the Lions Club of Grand Cayman and their members for all they've been doing for 50 years or maybe 5,000. We'll find out for sure.
51.
50 years.
It has been a remarkable journey to see the continued commitment of so many in our community. Well, honored to have President Patricia Forbes join us. How are you today?
I'm fine. Thank you so much for asking. Good afternoon.
It is indeed a wonderful day as we come together and celebrate and contribute and join our hands and hearts. So together with immediate past President Mr. McHavlin.
Good afternoon. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you, sir.
I don't think there are very few people globally, certainly within Cayman, Lion President, that do not know of, have heard, or somehow contributed or benefited from the work of Lions.
Absolutely agree with you. I can remember as a child growing up in East End, seeing the Lions come by on Christmas mornings and delivering gifts to the most needy. Yeah. And even now, 50 years later, we still continue to do that. Yeah. But it is a phenomenal club, and the persons that make up the club, I call them the superstars of volunteerism, because they are superstars. They go there and they get it done, even while still carrying out their lives, having their personal lives with their families and going to their jobs day after day. But they do find the time to give back, and for that we're very appreciative.
I think that's rare when we look at the community and we can see the benefit, as you shared. These are individuals for whom, they've had their daily lives, commitments to family, their jobs, whether they're self-employed or a new employee in some startup, but yet they still meet on a regular basis, and not just meet and discuss, but actually go out and implement. But it takes us to partner with them to help these things to be the success that they are.
Yes.
So share with us some of the things coming up, because I've been excited hearing about a number of, not just ways to fundraise, but ways to remind us of being connected to our community.
Right.
Well, as you know, we love to respond and step forward. And every year there's always something, with regards to disaster relief or regular things that we do with vision and diabetes and childhood cancer. We are often there. As I said, we serve. And it is important that with the efforts of the community, we raise funds for the from the activities that we get off the ground. And our volunteers are not the only people that help us. It's those people who contribute.
Yeah, and that's where I think we often hear many hands make light work. That contribution could be cash or in kind. As Ms. Marlin always says, you can give your time, your talent, and your treasure. We all have much that we can give, certainly much more than we realize that we have. So, Madam President, how can we contribute? What can we do? And what's coming up that we can be a part of?
Okay, so we're always looking for new members. And so if you'd like to come to one of our meetings, just reach out to one of our members and we'll bring you in as an invitee. And then if you get that desire to join us, by all means, we'll go through that process and have you join us. However, with the upcoming events, we do have our breakfast on the Saturday, the first Saturday in February. And then we have our golf tournament. So Lion IPP, that's the immediate past president, Lion Michael Havlin, will tell you a bit more about the golf tournament that's coming up.
In golf is not just a sport that is enjoyed globally, but we've seen increasingly both amateur and, soon we maybe see some professionals from our midst, but it's been enjoyed. So a golf tournament, I think that's
yes. Well, I mean, of course, just like with the swimming that the Lions pool, of course, facilitated back in the day. We have our Olympians now in the swimming arena, and we also have golfers on the island that are world champions like Aaron Jarvis, and I know that Andrew Jarvis has taken part in the golf tournament, and I know that there are some real serious competitors in the golf tournament, but at the same time we are really interested in having people from the community come and make up teams and come out next week Friday.
So next Friday?
Next Friday the 9th.
Okay, so February is starting on Thursday, so next Friday.
Yeah.
So we've got this week and 2 weeks. Okay.
Yeah, I've got one more. Yeah, I've got 9-10 days to sign up, and it would be an awesome thing to see all these people take part in this tournament because it's a fresh air. It's the start of the midterm break, so if the people out there are thinking, oh, I've got the kids all week next week, maybe this time is for me, they can go out and take part in that Friday afternoon.
Yeah. Well, as you said, that gave me an idea, so I'll be guided by you. It is, the midterm break. Maybe parents with their children, is there an age limit they could come out and have a team?
Last year we had a team of 15, 16-year-olds.
Okay.
Yes, and they walk the course because they can't go in the golf buggies, at that age, because they haven't got their driving licenses.
Well, maybe one adult and
but they walked the tournament and they did very well. They held their own. We have some really talented youngsters out there who can come and join us in the tournament too, of course. And the tournament itself is sponsored by some great sponsors, RSM, Health City, the CDG Group, and the Cayman Distributors Group, and the brewery. And we've also got the wonderful sponsored raffles, from everybody from the groups of restaurants up and down 7 Mile Beach.
Okay.
And they really help contribute to our fundraising in this effort. And it's a beautiful afternoon out. I've looked at the weather forecast. It's going to be lovely.
It's a Friday, so it will be.
Yeah, of course, it's a Friday. Yeah, why not? And hopefully we'll see 72 golfers out there in a competitive spirit.
And then how do if someone wants to sign our team? I mean, how do you go about it? How many players on the team? And
so the makeup of a team is 4, and start is a 12-30 shotgun. Yeah, literally a shot is fired, and it's 36 buggies are on their way to 18 different holes, and they then basically shoot off in whatever hole they're assigned and finish on the one just before that. So it is an event that has everybody on the course at the same time.
Okay.
And
So
they sign up for it at the sponsored a flyer that's going around on Facebook at the Lions Club Facebook page, and other venues. And also they could email me, mjhavlin@candw.ky, and I can send them the link straight to the registration page.
Okay, so they're signed up. It sounds not just fun. It sounds a good way for corporate entities with their clients, or a group of friends coming together, enjoying it, fellowship and socialize and networking. But helping to fundraise.
That's exactly what it was like last year. It was awesome. We had lawyers, accountants, insurance guys. They were all there, and the after party thing is very, very fun. They have a meal provided, and they get into the spirit of it. Teasing each other on. The scores come in very low because they have something called a mulligan.
Okay.
I don't know if you're aware of that term.
I heard it before.
Yeah, but basically what it means is that if they fluff a shot on the first attempt at it, they can maybe get a little voucher for it so that they can have another free shot, and then they can get an even better shot. There's also the chance from track to win a hole-in-one, and that would be a Changan car on the 9th hole. And then there's other competitions as well, like the longest tee shot for both male and women, but men and female, and the closest to the hole competition as well.
And then there's a raffle afterwards.
And then the raffle as well,
some raffle items.
I've watched golf. I've tried it a couple of times. Stand on the baseline, you see you hit the ball. One day I will try it. But for this, I would have inclined to just not just be supportive, but come out and enjoy it. It's going to be a good afternoon.
Well, let me tell you, there were 2 fresh golfers last year. One of them, which is one of your co-media person, Seaford Russell, and he had never hit a golf ball before, and he was out in that course, and he was the first to sign up for this year's competition.
Yeah. Well, if Seaford was here, I would tease him. Say, there's probably a lot of things he hasn't done before, but but thank you for sharing that, because what I'd say is to us is that sometimes we don't avail ourselves of opportunities. We, openly preclude ourselves from participating, believing that we can, and it's a sport where, as I have my friends who play, it's fun. They make good jest amongst themselves. They come back and I liken it to fishermen going out and the tales that they tell. I think golfers probably are more inventive. Right, Lion President?
Maybe, yeah. I'm not sure.
All right. So,
but also to tell you too about the breakfast the weekend before that, which is February 3rd, 7 o'clock, Saturday at the Land Center. And we're going to have fried fish and fritters, liver and onions, ackee and saltfish. 1 meat, $12, and a combo of 2 meats, $15. There's also coffee, tea, Milo, juice, and watermelon that will be served with that as an added on.
Right.
No additional cost to the person. So we invite you to come out there. We try to do one of these every quarter. And so this is our third one for the Lion and Stick year, which started in June 30th.
Okay.
Yes.
That's this Saturday, right?
This Saturday, February 3rd.
Come for breakfast, sign up for the golf. I mean,
Yes.
go away with bragging rights.
Yes, can sign up for the golf right there too
Yeah.
if you don't feel inclined to send an email. Yes.
All right. You know, and this is where I think not just the events that the Lions have put on over the years, but the Lions Breakfast, like many years, it's a community event.
Yes.
You come out and you see people, and you know, for some it might be their treat for themselves. You know, they, for whatever reasons they may have imposed dietary, you know, restrictions on themselves, and this is their way to, you know, have a little fried fish, you know, and enjoy a Milo that they probably hadn't had until, you know, the last quarter prior, or even when they were a child.
Yes. Yeah.
I used to like mix my Milo with condensed milk and just make it. We reminisce.
Yes.
All right. So, Mr. Havlin, from that concept of the golf, I mean, you talked about a hole-in-one and a chance to win a car. So I guess someone, if they're, I would say lucky enough, because skill maybe comes into play.
Even the most unexperienced golfer can be lucky once in their life.
Wow.
Yeah. My mother has a big plaque on the wall that says that she won a hole-in-one competition once.
Yeah?
Yeah. So I was so proud of that when I saw it. And you know what? That event that I have the photograph of was presented to her by a lion in the British Isles.
Yeah?
It was a Lions tournament that she got her hole-in-one.
See, for a second when you said by a lion, I was thinking with a mean, but you mean a Lion Club member.
I mean, yeah. I couldn't believe it when I saw it. I thought, oh my God, there's a link there to the Lions for me back in the day. She won a Lions golf tournament.
Wow.
Well, she didn't win it. She got the hole-in-one.
Hole-in-one. Yeah. But I mean, even making that venture, you know, let me try it. Who knows? The wind might be in your favor. You just may have the right swing. You know, the angels might be smiling upon you, and you get a new car.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
Ah, boy. Now, you know, stranger things have happened, right?
I know. Tell me about it.
The tournament, I was just looking at one question from somebody earlier, and I think I recall. You said 4. Does it have to be 4? Can it be 2, or can it be an individual?
I can have a couple of individuals join together. I mean, if they want to come along, that happened last year.
Okay.
Because the point scores that go in, you know, for the prizes, you know, are all based on teams.
Okay.
So
teams
yeah,
of 4.
but technically it's like best shot. So, but I think every person who takes a part, you know, really should have the chance to sort of have their best shot in the competition.
And those avid golfers amongst us, you know, they understand, but it's not we only for them to sort of sharpen and hone their skills, but to enjoy the afternoon.
This time of year, what a beautiful time of year to be out there, you know.
Yeah, well, what do they say, you know, a bad day fishing is better than a good day working in a day, right?
Exactly.
It must be the same for golfing.
Yeah. Well, somebody once said the opposite of that, and they said that golf is a good walk spoiled. That's what they said. But at the same time, this time we actually go in buggies, so the carts are there and the refreshments are there, and of course there's food at the end of it, and you know, it's all very refreshing. And of course we've got the beautiful Cayman Islands breezes.
And
this time of the year,
it is. I mean, it's still relatively cool, even at midday. The rains, was that yesterday and Saturday, just show you what we can enjoy from the blessings on high. But I was thinking, when we sign up and participate in the thing on the 9th, so not this Saturday, but the one following.
Yeah, the Friday.
Right.
Friday.
Next Friday.
Yeah, I mean that does mean that some of the you know, people are going to have to say to their bosses, come on, you know, Friday afternoon, let's go out together as a team, because don't forget, this is all for fundraising for our humanitarian efforts. Right. So you could do that in your business as part of your business's contribution, you know, to an NCGO, you know, and then that way, you know, you feel that you've done a great community service. You know, what we're doing with the money is we're going to use it for international means. So we're going to be able to send out to the foundation so they can have their humanitarian efforts, you know, centered on all the needs, you know, disaster relief and all the other things that we necessarily can't reach. And that actually comes back to us as well. So if we have a mission, like setting up a new diabetes booth or something like that, they can help provide that for us as well.
And as you share with the corporate entities, it's a way for them to reach out to their clients and build that relationship. Client management. It's a good team building exercise amongst the corporate entities.
True.
Yes,
to step aside and
Mm-hmm.
have it.
Thought of that.
And I keep thinking back to, as you shared, it's half term, so teachers, perhaps teachers and students, parents and their children, provided one of them is at least old enough to drive the vehicle. So maybe it's a coach with some of the players, just to bring them into a different space. But the bottom line, contributing to the great work of Lions. Still time to sign up. Now, we know many times some of us, for whatever reason, we just plan to do something, we don't get to it right then and there. We're talking not this Friday, but the following.
Yes, right. Yes.
How late is too late?
Yeah, well, I don't want Cayman to be lastminute.com, but sometimes it is like that. Yeah, it would be nice to have everything signed and sealed and delivered by Wednesday, the 7th of February.
Which would logistically would make things much easier to manage. Yeah. You yourself would know.
Yes.
But perhaps we got this Saturday coming to get the breakfast, to be able to realize how important that is, and then go from there, right? Line President?
That's correct. Yes.
And you reference in the breakfast selections.
Yes. Honestly, we want to thank the community for everything that they've done. We had a Benzorama draw. You maybe talk about that, Land President.
Oh, yeah. So we had a Benzorama draw in September. That was last year. And I must say, kudos to the community. They were very supportive. They came out, they gave. And so those funds have gone back into the community. We've had just recently Christmas is the most wonderful time of the year, and we gave back to the community. We had Christmas party for the Lighthouse school students, for the Sunrise clients, special needs clients. And we also had an all-island children's party where we had hundreds of students come out, not students, but children. Well, they would be students too, come out to the community center for a party. And I don't think there was a party like that any place else on the island, because we had so much going on in those few hours that we were there. We had bouncy castles, the dunk tank, the magician, the painting of the face, making of gingerbread houses. It was just an absolute fun time. And so this is what we use the funds for when we collect them. And then, of course, on Christmas morning, we had hundreds of persons in the communities. I went out to West Bay Christmas Eve and Christmas morning, and I got to meet this very nice gentleman, 99-year-old Charlie Bush. It was the highlight of my visit. And we delivered groceries and gifts to hundreds of persons on Christmas Eve and the day before, and Christmas morning, of course. Yeah. So this is where our funds go. We just put it right back in the community, into the community. We do have 5 global causes with Lions International, and that is hunger, diabetes, vision, environment, and childhood cancer. So we try to, do something with each one of those global causes throughout the year. Yeah.
Well, Lynn, I appreciate that, because you answered a question, and one of our listeners asking, to talk about how the funds raised are utilized locally, and you gave us, some examples. We also know that not just the housing contributions. Past President.
Yes, and we're just wrapping up our site screening at the minute as well. So I'm signing off on a lot of checks for the glassware, eyewear for students who are in need. Yeah. So the results of those site screenings are, a way of us helping the community as well. For all the Lions, they go out, and Lion President went out to at least a dozen, I think.
Yeah, we did the public schools, that is the primary schools, and the private schools. We did year 1 and year 7, and we did over 1,000 students since October 10th, which was the beginning of the project. And we did site screening for all of those students, and we have impacted the lives of many, because we have come across students who do need to seek attention from an ophthalmologist. So that has been impactful. We also have our prostate, which is called PACE, and you probably had someone on in the past talking about that. Prostate and testicular cancer event, and we got into the communities. We've been out to East End, West Bay, and Georgetown already this Lionistic year. We've also had Movember at the center, where we had many men came out and got tested for the PSAs, and then we had persons testing for their cholesterol levels, their diabetes levels. And we've been out there. We've been quite busy,
yes.
And we still have lots more to do.
Yeah, we're definitely the busiest club in the region. And in fact, even just now, if you forgive me, I just received something today that says participating in the inaugural Helen Keller essay competition. As you know, Helen Keller was the reason why Lions got into sight. And it says aimed at engaging and building relationships with young persons in the community, raising their awareness about sight-threatening conditions and the plights of persons who live with blindness and visual impairment. Encourage growth and development of students by giving them a forum to express themselves as well as raising the awareness. So that basically it is an essay competition, and any student can write an essay on the following: a day in the life of a visually impaired person or a cause of visual impairment. And that is up until the 31st of March.
And this, just earlier this month, we had our zone meeting, which incorporated, we had the 3 clubs, so Lions Club of Tropical Gardens and Lions Club of Kimmelbrack. And we had 3 members installed in Lions Club of Tropical Gardens. Next month, we're going to Kimmelbrack. All the clubs are going to be there, and it's a regional meeting, so you'll have clubs from Jamaica joining us there, and of course we'll have meetings and we'll have projects that we'll be doing over there next month.
Yes. And as you shared, I think there's another listener asking to expound on the fact that we've got 3 clubs. Why? But the answer is the Kimmelbrack Club physically present on the Brack.
Right.
The Grand Kimmelbrack Club was the original one, and then back when there was a women's club, separate and distinct, but now they're all sort of
correct.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. Yes, and we all help each other. And not only do we help each other, we also help all the other organisations. And I just want to say at this point in time, we would love to support any service organisation out there with any of their activities, and we often do. For example, Stride Against Cancer was on this weekend, and we had our big colon tent, which you may have seen one year outside here. And that is a promotion by our Lion Kobe. And we also have Rotary participants in our golf tournament as well. So just give me the nod from anybody out there who's service orientated, and I'll put you in the teams as well.
And this past weekend we had our members out there helping Meals on Wheels collecting funds too. So we're all over the place.
Yes.
Change for change. Huh?
Yes.
And this is where, as I listen, you may be part of a particular entity, whether it's a service club or whether it's a community. But if all are working together with a shared vision of improving the quality of life, the lives and livelihood, the safety and security of our community, we all benefit.
Yes.
And if it's the golf tournament like next Friday, funds raise, assist, community initiatives.
Exactly. And we may be helping right now with devastating hurricanes, earthquakes, floods, etc. across the world. But I just heard again recently that La Nina effect is back in place, which means that there's less wind shear, which means that there's more direct hurricanes heading our direction, possibly. And 20 years exactly in September for Maven. So, anything that we raise may actually end up coming back to us.
Good
from the international.
You do right by other people. It may come back to you, but in our minds, even more so, come back to the people you care about. So that's where good follows good. Lion President, with that, we see the demands of us as individuals, and sometimes we feel, my little contribution, whether it's the hour or two, a day or a week or a month, or the few cents, but as a collective body, just the Lions itself, we can see the global impact, not just the local impact. So for those prospective members who want to come on, if I could respectfully ask for those who know, how do we get an invitation to the meeting? When are the meetings? And just give us a quick overview of how we can consider being a part of the membership.
Okay, so we meet on Thursdays at the Lions Community Center, and that is 7:30. The first Thursday and the third Thursday. The second Thursday we have our board meetings, so that's just for the board of directors. But the first and third Thursday. First Thursday is usually our business meeting, but you're invited to that. And the third Thursday, our social meeting. So we try to do something fun, like afterwards play dominoes, that sort of thing. But you can just stop by the Lions.
Saturday morning they can come and help with the breakfast, serve breakfast.
Yeah, just volunteer too.
Volunteer
with us. We have persons that just volunteer. just because they want to give back. And we also, I like to mention that we also have the Leo's Club, okay?
Yeah.
So we have them, this past Saturday, we installed the president of the Omega Grand Cayman Leo Club, and that is 18 to 25 years old. Okay, and then we have Leo Club at John Gray High School, and that's the Alpha Club, Alpha JGHS Leo Club. But we also have one in between, which is the Georgetown Cyber Leo Club. So they're in between being at the school physically and being 18 years old. So they're cyber, they meet online. Sometimes they have physical activities, but it's past John Gray students and prep and other students that aren't in high school. And we're really pleased to have those 3 clubs up and going, because we know eventually they're going to probably move on to become Lions.
And then can I just say here that this is the first time you've actually seen 2 consecutive presidents in education. We both work at John Gray High School. So that's a unique thing.
I was waiting for you to point that out. But
yes.
Thank you, because it shows that as educators, not
Yes.
only invest and involve in the children on a daily basis through instruction, but you step out into the community and help.
Yeah. And I can't help but say we have a Wizard of Oz promotion next week. My drama department would hate for me not to promote that. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday next week, 6:30 in our beautiful new school, John Gray High School.
I've been hearing from parents and the older siblings or the aunts and uncles about the rehearsals and the excitement of the children. And if all goes as expected, you're gonna have a full house every night.
We're hoping it's a major production. There's an orchestra. It's really big. A set has been built and so on. So
and I mean, not to go off tangent, but there's a rumor that the original dog Toto, you actually got that dog in this production. Is that true? I mean, can you confirm that now?
I saw him this morning. He was in a basket this morning on a bicycle.
It is. Yeah. But no, it's a good bit of levity, but I really appreciate that. And I think something that you shared in all this, whether it's the fellowship at the Lions Breakfast, the camaraderie and the colleagues sort of, reaching out to their clients at the scramble for the golf next Friday. It's the coming together, especially now when people, after meetings you talk about having dominoes.
Yes.
I call it fellowship.
Yeah.
We're not sharing. We're not only because we're busy, but we come from a space that's recently where we were forced to be separated and segregated, and division can only lead to discord and disharmony, right? So here's a way to unite and celebrate.
Yes.
Boy. So hopefully the people will take it up.
Thank you.
Past President, if I may ask you, finally before we ask your President for closing thoughts, for those who want to be a part of the golf tournament, not this Friday, but the Friday following, what's the best way? What are some of the better ways?
Please, I think the quickest way is to go on the Facebook and find the Lions Club of Grand Cayman, and you'll see a posting there, and it'll direct you to where you need to go.
Okay. Well, Lion President, I mean, come get breakfast and maybe consider sign up for the tournament then. But your closing thoughts for today, Mom.
I just want to say thank you for having us on this show. Thank you to the community for continuing to support us after 50 years plus one, like he said. I'm the 51st president, 5th female. I need to add that in there. And we never had a repeat president so far. So we just really excited about these 2 upcoming events, and we ask the public to indulge us and continue to support us like they've done in the past, because we do depend on the community for their support. And thank you for your continued support in the past.
Thank you too.
You know what? Thank you all for sharing, and hopefully the community as a collective of 4 people coming together and being a part of your golf tournament next Friday. That'll be awesome. And come and enjoy the breakfast this Saturday at the Lions Community Center.
Thank you.
I can get some codfish with some fritters. Oh, that'd be good. But not only the production next week for the Lions at the school participating, because I'm sure teachers will wear their hats, both as teachers and as Lions members, chaperoning, but for for all that you do. So a very productive and safe and enjoyable week.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And to our listeners, when you come back, join us. Let's have some open line. Let's talk. Let's share. Let's shine. Stay tuned for Talk Today.
Imagine a future where every Caymanian has an affordable home to cherish. The Ministry of Housing is calling on you to help shape this future. Be a part of the Cayman Islands Public and Affordable Housing Policy. Go now to www.cihousingplan.org, the Share My Ideas section, and be heard. Or join in person at public consultations held the 30th of January at 7 p.m. at the Aston Ruddy Center in Cayman Brac. Little Cayman residents may participate virtually. Open for everyone, a special virtual public consultation will also be held on February 1st from 12 to 1 p.m. via CIG-TV, YouTube, and Facebook. For more information, contact Public Works at CI Housing Plan at public-works.org or send WhatsApp message to 1332-287-9037. Together, we are building a brighter, more sustainable housing future for the Cayman Islands. Your ideas, your voice, your future. Let's shape it together.
At Doctors Hospital, we know life happens, and usually when you least expect it. So when unexpected medical issues arise, you need quality care close to home. Located in the heart of Georgetown, our accomplished team of physicians and medical staff treat minor urgent conditions such as migraines, chest and abdominal pain, shortness of breath, burns, broken bones, open wounds, and more. 24 hours, 7 days a week with no appointment necessary. Peace of mind is important when life happens. At Doctors Hospital, we're always here just for you. Need to speak to someone? Call 949-6066.
From boat days to beach gatherings, leave the catering to Subway. Choose from small and large sandwich platters, double meat wrap platters, and top it off with optional cookie platters for dessert. Or ask about our Subway box to go with the option of 6-inch or foot-long sandwich, 1 cookie, and 1 bag of chips. For all occasions and celebrations, let Subway focus on the food so you can focus on the fun. Visit subway.ky for catering options. Subway. Eat fresh.
Gentlemen, you want to make her Valentine's Day special, right? Well, all you got to do is bring her to the Cayman Islands Agriculture Show. That's right. Make sure you get there for all the food she can eat. And, of course, she gets to pick her plants and goodies and so much more. That's right. It's a win-win situation, and it takes place on Ash Wednesday, February the 14th. That's right, Valentine's Day. All you got to do is visit them on Facebook at CaymanAgriculture.com. Once again, it's all about the Cayman Islands Agriculture Show.
Discover your dream home with Cayman National's home loan. Get up to 95% financing, repayment up to 40 years, and just a 0.5% commitment fee. Your interest rate? Depending on your risk factors, it'll be fixed or variable. Plus, you get a pre-approved credit card. This is a limited time offer. Dial 949-8300 or email lending@caymannational.com today.
You know, as a little girl, I dreamt of traveling to faraway places and foreign lands. I tell you what though, no more dreaming. I'm going flying with Cayman Airways. How blessed are we in the Cayman Islands to have a very own national airline? Girl, you can fly to so many international destinations without the hassle of connecting flights. On top of Jamaica, Cuba, and Honduras, you got non-stop flights from Cayman to New York, Miami, Tampa, and even Denver, Los Angeles, Panama, and child, they now have Barbados. Going to be a little cafe con leche and Hollywood Squares for this old girl.
Make your travel dreams come true with Cayman Airways, offering non-stop flights for non-stop adventures in Panama, LA, and many more places in between. For details and to book, call 949-2311, contact a travel agent, or visit CaymanAirways.com.
Start your day in the know. Don't miss a beat. Radio Cayman's 7 a.m. news keeps you informed every Monday through Saturday at 7 a.m. Brought to you by Cayman National, proudly serving the Cayman Islands since 1974.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Hey, welcome back, and thanks for joining us. It's some open line now. I'll try my best to multitask and read, multiple messages on multiple devices. But let's go to the phones. Hey, welcome. Thanks for calling.
Hey, good afternoon, Sterling Dwayne.
Good afternoon, Mr. James Albert Christian. How are you, my friend? How are you today?
I'm blessed. I'm doing great. How you doing, man?
Oh, man, listen. I can say publicly and very, very truthfully, I'm doing excellent. But even if I wasn't, I know I will be, because we call those things that aren't as if they were. But thank God for His mercies,
We don't want to start grumbling and complaining, so let's leave that alone.
No, man. My brother always says, who listening can't help, who can help not listening, so why complain? We can't be negative, man. It's too much to be positive about.
True, that's so true.
Yeah.
Well, I just wanted to call you because I was thinking my friend Miss Jan, she got probably beat me to it, so I tried to see if I could beat her to it, but I know she might be busy out there at a cruise ship today, but anyway.
She called you earlier, man. You just missed her.
She called earlier? Yeah. Oh, man, she already beat me to it. What?
Well, she said you got to come early if you want to get...
I tell you, man, I not getting no warm in these times.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, I just want to speak regarding the young man here on the back that was stopped this weekend.
Okay.
Such a sad incident, and it could have been. Thank God it was no worse. It could have been we preparing a funeral for a young man, and thank God that that's not the case. But I just want to reach out and say something regarding these situations that we are in. I don't know whether I should say encouraging, or I should say we need to start discouraging what's happening here on the block, because I am understanding that these people, this young lady that came, I understand it's a young lady that did the incident that caused the injury to the young man.
Mm-hmm.
And I am understanding that this girl is under probation for another assault on an individual over in Grand Cayman, and she's on probation. And now they bring her, she's come over to the block, did this repeat incident, and now flee from the block and go on Grand Cayman. Now, I'm not certain on that information, but that's what I'm receiving.
Right. So
But the thing about it is, when we started this roadside clean here on the block, we all work here as one, and we tried to encourage one another.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't try to harbor drug addicts, even though they might can cause problems. When we started this system, we tried to prevent that from happening.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And the system has fallen away, where they hire these people. They don't care about their background, basically. They put them on the road, and they cause more harm than what they're doing good. And whatever the circumstance that caused this event with the stabbing, it should not have been. And if you ask me, them kind of people, if they have an issue on one island, they should remain on that island. They should not be able to travel, go to Little Cayman Brac, and cause more damage to someone else.
Mm-hmm. If I may ask, as I, endeavor to try to speak generally about some of the things that are transpiring within our country, right? Two things first. Your perspective, if you wish to share it, on what you see transpiring on Cayman Brac specifically, both in terms of the population. Is it increasing? What's the demographic looking like? Let's start with that. What is your view on the population? Is it increasing, decreasing? What is the demographic looking like?
Population has increased over the last year. Mm-hmm. It has almost doubled, and we don't know what we have here in these islands anymore. We don't know whether we got good, and we don't know whether we got evil. But we seeing more evil than what we seeing good.
Mm-hmm.
in this little island, and it scares me because we have a lot of young people, and especially a lot of young girls walking around this place, and it's sad to know that our immigration, custom, border patrol, whatever they want to call themselves anymore, police system, we don't have no record of these people that we have in these islands that can come here and cause harm to people and leave on the next flight. When I was in Georgetown some days ago, last week, I was sitting there waiting on the Brac flight. First thing in the morning, and the Jamaica flight were going out. And one young man was sitting there among the crowd, looking he was hiding himself, basically, if you ask me. Because when I noticed what was happening, I see the police come in and grab him. And he looked like he was hiding, how he was sitting among the people. We have these kind of people coming in in our islands, and we have now our own kind that are coming from Grand Cayman. I'm not got nothing against the people. I'm not got nothing against nobody. But what I'm saying is, when these people have crimes, background crime, criminal activity on their record, they should not be allowed to participate in the work activity that requires people working with machetes or anything that can cause these people to bring grave harm, bodily harm against other individuals. Our population, Sterling, has doubled. And I don't care who say it and who like it and who don't. But we are heading down a path of no return because we are turning, like I said last time, we are turning blind eye to what is happening. And we're not being careful with who we selecting to come into these islands. That is our problem. Right. We are not being careful selecting who we bring in to these islands.
Yeah. So with what you see transpiring and your fear of the negative impacts, for us now, for us down the road, for future generations, in your view, what can we do, about it to make sure it's a positive impact, that is something good that's going to happen?
What we need to get done, we need to have stricter restrictions against people that have police records. We need to have stricter restrictions against them when it comes to traveling. If they have records, Sterling, if you ask me, if they committed a crime in Cayman Brac, and they have been committed for that crime, even though they serve time, they should not be able to travel. That is a system that the United States were trying to get implemented into their system for the longest time. That once you commit a crime, you are unable to leave the country. We are allowing people to do as they please and get on the Twin Otter, the Saab, and come Cayman Brac. Or you know what? They're not even worrying about Saab and Twin Otter. They're getting on that jet to come Cayman Brac. We need to stop that. Our immigration system needs to shape up. Our police system needs to shape up and start taking these things seriously before other events break out. We probably hope these people coming over from Grand Cayman, not got nothing against them, like I say. But when you have people coming over, bringing guns and all this rubbish, like bringing over an AK-47 over in a little island like Cayman Brac, come on, man. When is the ball got hit the net? Huh? We kicking around, playing this Monopoly game with our young people out in the public, and we just overseeing and don't care about what is happening. Our system needs a serious overhaul, and people need to stand up and see to it that it be done.
To what extent, right? And just since you're more on the ground in the Brac, to what extent do you think, and not just Cayman Brackers, but those who live in the Brac generally, to what extent do you think they are aware of the good, the bad, and the evil that is happening in their communities?
This is how it is. When we all were rough neck individuals out in the public one time, but we didn't go around just walking around with no knife in our hands. When you walk around with a weapon, what is the intention of walking around with a weapon in your hand? There's only one alternative to that, one motive to that, and that is to use that weapon. And why it is that we got to sit down and allow these things to come in, and some people see these things happening, and they rather keep their mouth shut than to say, listen, I saw an individual with a knife, or I saw an individual with a gun. Let's see if we can get something fixed before something happens. Why is people turning a blind eye and being afraid of speaking up? Look at it. Look at what just happened in Miami there with a young man walking to school that Friday again with a loaded gun. if one individual didn't see that and said something, it could have been a whole different story Friday in Miami there in that school.
Yeah.
What happening around here, Sterling, is our people are too afraid. Our teenagers that are out there around the bars having their little fun, they are buddying up with one another and too afraid. They need to, if they're going to be like what my father said, if you're going to go out in that kind of setting, man yourself up. Yeah. Man yourself up. That when something around like that arrives, you are there willing to protect someone else that might need help.
Yeah. All right, man. Listen, appreciate you sharing that. And as we go to this break, maybe it'll inspire someone else to share something similar. Hey, thanks very much, all right?
Yeah,
all
man.
right.
Boy.
Thanks, bro. Talk to you soon. All right, let's pause and take a break. When we come back, we invite you to call 949-6990 or 949-8037.
You know, as a little girl, I dreamt of traveling to faraway places and foreign lands. I tell you what though, no more dreaming. I'm going flying with Cayman Airways. How blessed are we in the Cayman Islands to have a very own national airline? Girl, you can fly to so many international destinations without the hassle of connecting flights. On top of Jamaica, Cuba, and Honduras, you got non-stop flights from Cayman to New York, Miami, Tampa, and even Denver, Los Angeles, Panama, and child, they now have Barbados. Going to be a little cafe con leche and Hollywood Squares for this old girl.
Make your travel dreams come true with Cayman Airways, offering non-stop flights for non-stop adventures in Panama, LA, and many more places in between. For details and to book, call 949-2311, contact a travel agent, or visit CaymanAirways.com.
At Doctors Hospital, we know life happens, and usually when you least expect it. So when unexpected medical issues arise, you need quality care close to home. Located in the heart of Georgetown, our accomplished team of physicians and medical staff treat minor urgent conditions such as migraines, chest and abdominal pain, shortness of breath, burns, broken bones, open wounds, and more. 24 hours, 7 days a week with no appointment necessary. Peace of mind is important when life happens. At Doctors Hospital, we're always here just for you. Need to speak to someone? Call 949-6066.
Your dream home starts with a vision, and often inspiration is at the heart of that vision. Brand Source Home Gallery's in-house designers are here to help bring your vision to life. Whether you're remodeling or building a new home, Brand Source Home Gallery is your one-stop solution. Explore their kitchen cabinets, sinks, faucets, bath fixtures, tubs, vanities, and more. Let Brand Source's designers help and inspire you with your next project. Call 623-5000 and schedule an appointment with a design expert at Brand Source Home Gallery, Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park, serving Cayman for 50 years.
Discover your dream home with Cayman National's home loan. Get up to 95% financing, repayment up to 40 years, and just a 0.5% commitment fee. Your interest rate? Depending on your risk factors, it'll be fixed or variable. Plus, you get a pre-approved credit card. This is a limited time offer. Dial 949-8300 or email lending@caymannational.com today.
Welcome to a new year with Digicel. Elevate your mobile experience by switching to our prepaid or postpaid plans. Enjoy more data, seamless communication, and uninterrupted entertainment. Plus, make the switch now for a chance to win exciting rewards. Stay connected, entertained, and make 2024 your year with Digicel. Because better connections make a better year.
You don't sound too good there, Bobo.
Yeah, you know how it is. With the kids back in school, every other week they coming out with something, and then I catch it.
Sound like it catch you. But for real, brother, flu season is here and COVID is still around. You gotta stock up on things like medicine, vitamins, and minerals for you and the kids. You know what they say, prevention is better than cure.
At ValueMed, our pharmacists can help manage flu symptoms and provide guidance on vitamins and minerals to best support you and your family's overall health. Visit ValueMed Pharmacy on Walkers Road or Town, or WhatsApp your questions and prescription refills to ValueMed on Walkers Road at 926-1662 or WhatsApp ValueMed in Town at 916-5511. Live happy, live healthy with ValueMed Pharmacy.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Hey, welcome back, and thanks for sharing. It is open line as we got a few minutes rolling up until the 2 p.m. hour, and we'll take our headline news then. So call and share your thoughts. 949-8037. 949-6990. So 949-6990 or 949-8037. You can WhatsApp a call on 925-3261. Two quick things following on from what the last caller shared. One individual said, as we look at what is happening in the Cayman Islands, and starting with the Cayman Brac in particular, this person messaged and said, well, is it like on Grand Cayman that the local community, in this case the Brackers, are they driving what is happening? Are they looking at the scope and pace of the population growth and the development? And are they, whether consciously or otherwise, aware of the mistakes? And when I asked the person to expound on it, they say, yeah, mistakes. We saw development, but we didn't see that there could be negative consequences if it wasn't managed. So the mistakes that are being made relative not only to the way and where roads are being built, but the type and developments that are being proposed, and who's behind them, who may benefit, and the impact on the social fabric. I paraphrase, but during the break we had a quick exchange with that particular listener, and the individual said, we here in Grand Cayman, we wish we could turn back the hands of time and maybe do some things a little differently. But why is it seemingly we're allowing the same things to happen on the Brac? For instance, the person in question, should concessions be extended to the Brac relative to work permit fees? The people are in the Cayman Islands. Nonetheless, they benefit from being in the Cayman Islands. And if there is seemingly, unemployment issues on the Brac, why are so many work permits being issued and at, significantly reduced sum? So government loses out on that. Take this other call, but come back to that question in a bit. Hey, welcome. Thanks for calling.
Good afternoon, Mr. Ebanks.
And to you. A wonderful day, man. How's it going?
Boy, nice and cool, and I enjoy some of this nice north, south, east, west, or whatever you want to call it.
Once you're enjoying it, hey, that is good, man. You can share with us, man. Thanks for calling, though, all right?
All right. I will listen to your show earlier, man. I won't rewind some, know what I mean? But
of course.
Yeah, because I couldn't talk to you then. I was working, but I was very glued to it,
All right. Thank you.
All right. I go back to the part where you asked about something about if it was convenient for them to come here. The people are...
Yeah, do they see having, Cayman started? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like before you asked that call, I think that was... I didn't want to call his name still.
Fair enough.
He didn't call his name, yeah.
Fair enough.
But you asked him a question. He didn't answer the question, but I want to get on to that question.
Okay, sure.
Okay, convenience. I think it's convenient for everybody who come here that it was convenient for them to come here in the first place, because I don't think anybody is going to go to some prayer that is not convenient to them by choice.
Right.
Right? So the convenience that we offer here is basically the way of life.
Mm-hmm.
Compared to some places and all. As you look around our society, you don't see any burglar bars like that on the windows, on the doors. You're not a prisoner in your own home. As in countries, the economy is not bad, although we have one of the highest price jurisdictions in the world.
Mm-hmm.
But we're all making it seem where we're still loving and living, and there's no real civil unrest.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But I want to ask you a question, Mr. Sterling.
Yes, sir.
Okay, with the way how society is now, with the growth of Cayman as a people, as nowadays, okay, well, let me get to what I'm saying first.
Mm-hmm.
The growth of Cayman of a people as a society with our building and development, right?
Yeah.
If you could be a prophet, prophesy something for me today, if it's possible to say, well, just 25 years from now, because I think you're a healthy young gentleman, and you will still be here with me.
Thank God, yeah.
Yes, sir. Glory be to God.
Let it be, man.
But to see this thing fulfilled 25 years from now, on the rate that we are going, the pace of development and everything that we are doing, do you think Cayman will still be a viable place?
You know, thank you for asking. That's an interesting question. I will, since you asked, I will try to, offer a perspective. But through you and our listeners, is that a question that we could ask ourselves and have a conversation about as we ask each other? Phrasing it a way that may inflame some people could be, phrased this way. For whom are we developing, right? We hear the word sustainability. You use the word, will Cayman be viable? And are we going to look at it? Is it viable from the perspective that there's still a sense of opportunity, entrepreneurial opportunity for people to, develop, say, properties, people to start new businesses, people to find employment, education? Is it viable from the perspective that you still have that safety and security, that personal safety and security? We're not living in gated communities and prisons and homes, whether with the burglar bars or otherwise, right? We don't have to employ security guards, whether armed or not, or vicious dogs to guard and sort of give us a false sense of protection and safety. But you just shared something that I think we take for granted. That's personal safety that we enjoy. To walk our beaches without risk of being, or fear of being kidnapped, or stepping on, whether it's hypodermic needles that have washed up or left on our shores, or being hassled and haggled by people trying to sell us something, right? But also, to what extent is it viable that we have now such a large and increased population? You're saying 25 years from now, if we
at
have...
the rate that we are going.
Yeah, if we now have, just round it off, if we now have 100,000 people in the country, we're seeing the traffic congestion, we're seeing the clamor for housing and the other associated costs, financial and social. What is our society looking like in terms of the quality of life, right? So in answering you, let me ask, if we have said that we've added 35,000 people to the population in the last little bit, a statistic, was it 1,500 or thereabouts, reduction in work permits, have we analyzed in what sector, if it's in a particular sector, what types of employee? Is it skilled? Is it unskilled? What are we doing to fill that? Do we need to fill it?
Well, I got to answer part of your question, because at the moment, we can't reduce the society for what it is at the moment, for what it's producing. Because we already made it this way.
My friend, sorry, we are losing you now. I don't want you to disconnect, right? If you could somehow reconnect, but let's take the news break so we can hear you, because we're losing that last bit. You say you would answer my question, and they're hearing after that. Could you please just stay on the line, see what we can do with it, okay? All right, stay tuned.
Covering Little Cayman, Cayman Bride.
Cover me. Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands. www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Radio Cayman Headline News.
With your latest headlines, I'm April Cummings. A weekend stabbing in the BRAC is under investigation. The Royal Cayman Islands Police Service says the victim showed up at Faith Hospital with a stab wound in the chest. Police actually believe the incident happened earlier that morning after an altercation at a bar and watering place. If you saw the incident or have any other information that can assist in the incident, contact the Cayman BRAC Police Station. That number is 948-0331, or you can make an anonymous call to 949-7777. In international headlines, King Charles III has been discharged from a London hospital after undergoing a procedure for an enlarged prostate. Elon Musk's social media platform X has blocked some searches for Taylor Swift as pornographic deepfake images of the singer circulated online. The sexually explicit and abusive fake images of Swift began circulating widely last week on X, formerly known as Twitter, making her the most famous victim of a problem that tech platforms and anti-abuse groups have struggled to fix. Those are your headlines. I'm April Cummings.
From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines. Radio Cayman Talk Today continues.
Hey, good afternoon. Welcome back, and thanks for joining us. And thanks to the gentleman for allowing us to just take the news and try to reconnect with him, and then take the other call after. Hey, you still there, sir?
Yes, sir. I'm here.
Oh, man, I'm hearing you much better. I hope that's something that was on my end, not yours, but okay. And thank you for letting us just take the news, okay?
Not a problem. That's very important, too.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, back to your question now. Okay, basically, as you said about reduction, we can't reduce the society by 15,000 or try to reduce it even by 5,000. Just leave it as it is. But we have to stop going forward. We have to pull up brakes. We can't be everybody come here. Okay, like the rule of a policy or the permit policy. It says that a permit is issued if we can't find any suitable Cayman to fit the position, right? But at the same time, there is no succession planning when it comes to these things, because I've seen people in labored or minimal jobs that have rolled over after the 9 years and have been back here after a year working in the same position, the same organization. Like gas station, a pump attendant. I'm not talking anything that's going to be like lawyers or doctors, I'm talking like just basic layman jobs that I believe that we could find suitable Caymanians to fill. Yeah?
Right.
Okay, the labor force has grown, so even if you put every Cayman in the labor force, it would not work because it's grown substantially to what's going on with all the building and development of the Cayman Islands. So we can't say reduce, but I believe that we could pull a halt. We need to stop what's going on because we won't have anything left 25 years from now to build in the first place. If we're going on the same path, So we're going to have, say 25 years from now, we're going to have a whole section of people that won't have jobs then. Yeah, so what are we going to do with those people?
If we don't think about it now, it'll sneak up on us in 25 years. It may seem like a long time.
25 years seems far, but that's
tomorrow.
Very far again,
Yeah, but it's tomorrow, right? Yeah.
It is.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
we need to look at, that's like what happened to Australia, Everybody, Australia grew so fast, they forgot about the indigenous.
Yeah, man.
It's like Cayman people, we are passive, and the rest of the world is, like, we have Vikings and all these warriors that come here, and we passive sit down, Cayman people sitting down and waiting for them to do something right for us. No, they're only coming to do for themselves. So we can't expect to say, be passive all the time and say, it's gonna change. It's like I tell them, a lot of these mixed race Caymanians, I'm loving it because they have more oomph to them, more aggression to say, no, you can't do this. No, you can't build this. You can't do that. If you look at all these, even for the port and all that stuff, where we had all these referendums for Safe South Sound, I've been a part of most of these stand-ups, I would call it, because I won't call them boycotts, because we just peaceful protest. Yeah? For most of the majority of the people I saw there, they were not indigenous Caymanians, I'll put it that way. There were people coming from other countries who saw their homes destroyed in a certain way, and we were going down that same path. And they became citizens here, because I cannot use like everybody says that they're Caymanians, I say citizens. The citizens here, I see them fighting to keep here the way it is, but we have some Johnny comes as a $1 billion industrialist, and he wants to turn Cayman into where he came from, but he ran from there to come here for more peace. So what is it? We have to stop looking at ourselves as the sheep and we're just selling the country.
Right,
right. But like I said, Cayman was a land rich but poor situation at one point. Now we're becoming poor in the pocket and also poor in the land because we don't have no land to sell. You know, at least not to sell our own. Because I've seen land that is in East End, which nobody was buying land there a long time ago. I saw a piece of land last year that was for, it's like a little bit under an acre. It was $68,000 for that plot. I saw that same plot. Well, we're in January now. It's called it December, so it's still last year. That plot went to $100 and something thousand. Now you tell me, something is wrong.
Yeah.
And it's not right for the Caymanians who are here either, or for anybody coming here to be subjected to this kind of living that is like the dollar is the almighty of everything. You know what I mean? We can't eat money. You can't plant it.
You can't take it with you, right?
You can't take it with you. So that's the solution to the problem. We need to stop what we're doing now and reevaluate where we're going in the future, because the future is in front of us, but we are going there without no blinders on. We're just looking all around and not looking forward. And 25 years from now, what we're doing now is not sustainable then, because if we can build $50 million schools in a BRAC that we only have maybe 200 students, and we don't have a great educational system, we have a failing educational system, and throwing money at it won't fix it.
Wise words, man. Hey, thanks for sharing, all right?
Thank you very much for the time to share, too.
No, always, man. Invitation is there to you as others, but to you as well, man. Thank you. Gentleman provides good comments as we take the next call. Welcome. Thanks for calling.
Good afternoon, Sterling. How you doing?
Excellent. How about yourself?
I'm good. You're getting some really good points today.
Yes, thank you all for calling.
Yeah, not a problem, man. Listen, Sterling, first of all, the gentleman was talking about, and I'm just going to start off with a couple of points. The gentleman was talking about Cayman trying to get 100,000 or more in the next 25 years or so, which my thing is that who's that going to apply for? Because you have Caymanians right now that cannot even get jobs within that 100,000 people.
Yeah, I think what he was saying, though, is that we should, maybe take stock, pause for a second, don't try to increase it anymore, so that we know when we get 25 years from now, since that's tomorrow, where we go in and, don't go blindly.
And I agree with him on that point, because you have how many thousands, I think 3,000 to 4,000 coming out of school every year. They're going off to college, going off to UCCI, ICCI, going off overseas and coming back, and they can't find a job. Then you have Caymanians who've been in a job for so long, and then they turn around and call the jobs redundant, but they rebrand it under a different name and get a real estate agent or something else to work that job when the Caymanians or whatever had that job for whatever years may be, and do an exact same thing but rebrand it under a different name. That's basically what they're doing now, right? So the population growth is a very big problem, because for me at my age, I'm looking back for my children and my children, and they're not going to have any land, right? Because one person is allowing to, everybody's buying up lands that really not here. And I'm not sure if you look at your older Caymanian passport or the old Cayman passport. The old Cayman passport that was made in Cayman had British Overseas Dependent Territory citizen. When they moved those passports over to England to get them rebranded over, they took off the citizen. I don't know if you've seen those.
No, what does it say now? BOTC? What does it say now?
There's British Overseas Territories. They took off the citizen off the old passport.
Okay.
So we're no longer a citizen.
Okay.
So, I went a couple of days ago to get to do that whole pension type thing, and the people looked at me and goes, "Oh, well, you need to show proof of Caymanage." And I'm like, "I own a home. I got stamp duty waived to get my home. So tell me how that makes sense. And for you to get a stamp owner's waive, you had to be a citizen of this country." Right? And what I'm saying is that what the government should do, and I've suggested this a long time ago, stop giving away the passports like they're John a cake bread or cassava bread. Make that a sense that, like how they do in the U.S., number one, you get a resident card right?
Mm-hmm.
Like they were talking about resident card. You hold that resident card. When you come back here, man, you show that resident card, you're a resident of this country. Yes, you have the rights to work and everything else. You have a resident card. Now, if you commit a crime within that time or an offense, they could pull that card from you.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't have the rights to get a Cayman passport. Once you get a Cayman passport, there's no way they could pull that from you. And within that card, every 2 to 3 years, while you having that card, there's a fine or a fee onto that. When people get these residents get the rights to work and whatever, and you have that fee, not half the time they don't be paying those fees. If you don't get that card, the card comes in like a driver's license, comes with an expiration date, just like how the green card is, and you have to get that renewed. Just common sense, right? As a resident card and everything else. That's one of the things they could do to kind of slow down the growth of everybody just getting these passports left, right, and center and coming up going, I'm Caymanian. No, you're not. You have a citizen of the country, plain and simple, right? Now, the other thing when it comes to crime, right, I'm under the impression, years gone by, we used to have CBC or customs. They used to patrol our water. They took off customs, made the police, custom and police started to patrol our waters, which was a good combination. Then they made customs redundant of patrolling the water, and police started patrolling the water. Then all of a sudden, the police stopped patrolling the water as much. Now it's Coast Guard. I've never seen a border of any country that does not have customs and Coast Guard patrolling the waters. If you go to the United States, they have Homeland Security, Customs, and Coast Guard patrolling their water.
But do you think? Well, go ahead. I listened to you. I mean, I was intrigued by what you share. So go ahead.
So this is the point that you create a bigger net. You cannot fix the crime because right now I've seen where they have on the papers or wherever they said that the police are going to be making more armed patrol and this and that. The horse has already left the pen. You're trying to fix a problem when the problems already exist. If you try to fence it before you get into the country, then you can minimize the situation.
Yeah. Makes sense, right?
We don't have a Doppler radar. We don't have a radar to protect our borders. People could come all the way in, past East End, and come all the way up to one of the bars, park their boat, and, of course, they got caught. But how many out of one, if 10 have gotten caught, how many people have actually made it to the island?
Mm-hmm. So with that, right, let's go on a premise. Those who enter the country illegally, plane, boat, they swim, however they get here, right? They picked up in a puff of wind. If they're here illegally, two questions. How do we know they're here illegally? First question. How can we tell? How do we find out?
Well, first of all, they're not doing a proper fingerprint. They don't have fingerprint scans or anything like that.
Okay.
I mean, for us to find out, it would have to be, for them to get here illegally, they have to be assisted by someone that's already here. No one's just going to jump up on a boat and come here illegally.
Okay.
Without a reason behind of them coming to Cayman.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So when you think about people coming here, is either a crime, they're bringing in drugs, or they're bringing in narcotics or firearms, right? We've had more firearm offenses coming in here, and no one's going to talk about it. Very rarely people are going to assist the police because 9 times out of 10, when they do, someone finds out who assisted the police, and they get it turned on them.
Mm-hmm.
So why people going to open their mouth to help them? Years gone by, yes, they could because confidence was there. But now people are going, no, I'm not going to tell the police because we heard someone else told them, and that person got found out, and they got dealt with.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what I mean? So it's kind of hard for you to tell. It's for you to tell for someone to get here illegally. You have to protect the borders.
Mm-hmm.
The borders are not really protected.
Mm-hmm.
Coast Guard is doing a decent job as best as they can because you can only do, like for me, if for you, for example, you can only do a good job with the tools that are handed to you, correct?
Right.
You cannot play on a radio station without records or music. You cannot have a good sound bite unless you have good commercials. right, or good editing system. So if they don't have the proper equipment, a full entourage of equipment, they cannot do a proper job. You need to have radar domes. You need to have balloon radars. You have to have Doppler radars. You have to have constant surveillance around the border, right? Either by air or by sea, and mostly by air, because you're not going to have the helicopter going there, because the cost of a helicopter taking off and going surrounding 3 islands is going to be ridiculous. Why is it that, they don't have a manned drone, which costs less than anything to operate? You take 1 or 2 people to operate, and you could fly them, and they could correspond with radars and everything else. The United States normally, off the coast of Florida, they actually have a balloon at 15,000 feet in certain parts of Florida. They have drones that circle a country.
Yep.
So you rarely get in unless, they have planes that fly around, but of course that's going to cost fuel. Drones really don't cost fuel. You can fly a drone for 12 to 14 hours with a fraction of a cost of what you would take off a helicopter for 1 hour. So how that makes sense?
Yeah, certainly we need to, as a listener, rethink our priorities, and do we have a clear objective of what we really want to do, or is it just like much? It's just lip service. Any other thoughts before we take the final break?
No. You're doing a heck of a good job. I just think that people need to start getting together. And when it comes to the high crime rates of this island, it's very bad. It's very sad to see the crime rates, because back in my days growing up in the 80s and 90s, we never had that. You had 1 or 2 fights, that was it. And now people are getting stabbed. You have firearms being brandished all over the place. And where's the protection for the homeowners? Where's the protection for the business people? Business people can't even have mace. They can't have pepper spray. The odds are against the business owners, odds against homeowners. If I have a mace at home and someone comes into my home and I use a spray, now I'm going to get charged, and 9 times out of 10, the perpetrator who invaded in my home is not going to get charged. I don't see how that makes sense.
It would sound like, from what you said, it would be difficult to make it make sense. But thank you for sharing, all right?
All right, not a problem.
I appreciate it. Final break, and when we come back, we'll take the other calls. Please stay on the line.
The Justices of the Peace Association will continue offering JP service on the ground floor of the Government Administration Building on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays from 9 a.m. to 12 noon, and is pleased to advise the public that starting Thursday, February 1st, JP service will also be offered on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 12 noon to 3 p.m. The association also wishes to remind members of the public who may need a counter-signatory when applying for a new or the renewal of a Cayman Islands or British passport of the importance of recognizing that a Justice of the Peace can only assist if he or she has known the passport applicant for a minimum of 2 years. Passport applicants are therefore reminded that other professionals can sign as a counter-signatory and should refer to guidance notes that are attached to the passport application form.
You asked, and we listened. The Water Authority's new customer portal is here. The new and improved platform lets you manage your account easily and more independently from a user-friendly design. With the new customer portal, you can view and pay your bill online, schedule bill payments, make payments on multiple accounts at one time, manage tenant and landlord accounts, view your consumption history, make service requests, and so much more. The service is also available to tenant accounts. Visit www.waterauthority.ky to sign up today.
Freedom, Cayman Brack. Freedom, Little Cayman. Soft breezes, blue waters, no traffic. Unwind and rejuvenate your mind, body, and soul. Sister Island Staycations, a taste of freedom. Discover all that our sister islands have to offer.
At Doctors Hospital, we know life happens, and usually when you least expect it. So when unexpected medical issues arise, you need quality care close to home. Located in the heart of Georgetown, our accomplished team of physicians and medical staff treat minor urgent conditions such as migraines, chest and abdominal pain, shortness of breath, burns, broken bones, open wounds, and more. 24 hours, 7 days a week with no appointment necessary. Peace of mind is important when life happens. At Doctors Hospital, we're always here just for you. Need to speak to someone? Call 949-6066.
Welcome to a new year with Digicel. Elevate your mobile experience by switching to our prepaid or postpaid plan. Enjoy more data, seamless communication, and uninterrupted entertainment. Plus, make the switch now for a chance to win exciting rewards. Stay connected, entertained, and make 2024 your year with Digicel. Because better connections make a better year.
The offices of dermatologist Dr. Wayne Porter will be taking appointments from the 5th to the 10th of February at his Crew Road Clinic. Appointment slots are limited. Whether you are seeking advanced skin care, Botox, filler, cosmetic skin enhancements, or simply looking to reduce wrinkles, Dr. Porter offers a full service and dermatological service practice. For more information, email drporterkman@gmail.com or call 946-9020 to book your appointment today. That's 946-9020. Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Hey, welcome back, and time for one final call and then a message from one of our listeners. But let's take the call first. Hey, welcome. Thanks for calling.
Good afternoon, Mr. Moderator. Thank you for taking my call.
And to you, thanks for taking time to call.
Indeed. Thank you for facilitating this show where people can feel free to call in and voice how we feel in good taste and, of course,
most welcome, sir.
My name is Quincy Brown. And though at times, good afternoon to you and by extension your listeners, even though at times I feel as if I am persona non grata, I am not going to allow that feeling to weigh me down because my faith tells me that my identity is found in God. Yes?
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to state that first and foremost. I'm glad you had the Lions on earlier. Their slogan is "We Serve." This is very important, and I would only encourage our population when they're out and about looking for donations, whether it's the Lions, the Leos, Kiwanis, Meals on Wheels, Jasmine, whatever charitable organization, please give of your surplus, because obviously we make a salary if we're working. I'm unemployed, but if we're working, we make a salary, we give our tithe, we give our offering. But what are we doing with our surplus? Give to charity if you possibly can. And it's okay to say to someone, have you had something to eat today? You would be surprised how many people in Islas Cayman, Las Tortugas, the Cayman Islands, are in fact hungry. So we feed the hungry, we give drink to the thirsty. And I also want to say that I'm a little bit disappointed that there's a separation now between heritage and culture. I think that heritage and culture and tourism should work together. It's just a suggestion. I'm not here to badmouth anyone. I'm not here to disrespect any minister of government. I only think that heritage and culture and tourism should work together. I believe in the youthquake, young people. I'm talking with the young people. I'm listening to the young people as I support youthquake, a young parliament, a young church, a young society where I, who only have 6 years to fulfill my purpose in ministry, 6 years, my time for parliament has come and gone. I listen to the young people. I encourage them because so many of our representatives say, oh, they did so good in the youth parliament. If youth parliament has been going on for 15 or 20 years, I don't know how long they've been going on, but all of our teachers and educators and even those in parliament that assist the young people, getting them ready for youth parliament, they all say they did an outstanding job. My question is this, though. For the amount of years that youth parliament has gone on, which young person has declared and run for office. Not one that I am aware. We cannot coerce them. I get that, because someone said, well, Quincy, we can't force them to run for office. I agree. I absolutely agree. However, if they can conduct themselves with great aplomb and with great decency during youth parliament, why is it? Will they not decide, I want to throw? But a lot of them are smart, but we will see changes moving forward. Those who are in power now will not be there forever. I'm not bad-mouthing anyone, because we have to pray for our leaders. The good book tells us that. Well, I just think, as I said, I'm repeating myself, but I want to repeat for emphasis. I think heritage, culture, and tourism should work together. I need a job. I am not displaying an attitude of entitlement. This country called the Cayman Islands, a tri-island nation, has been very good to me. I have made many mistakes. Perhaps that makes me persona non grata, but I'm not going to focus on that, because that's a feeling. Feeling is fickle. Faith in God is much stronger. So I'm going to conclude, though, by saying I should like to know what our future holds. Will we say, God save the king for the next 30 or 40 years? Because once King Charles III is no longer on the throne, his son, the Prince of Wales, is the next in line for the throne. Will we forever say, God save the king? Or will we, in an independent republic, say President Dart or President Forbes or President Wilbuckshire, whatever?
Or President Brown or President Ebanks, right? Or President Jackson.
Ebanks or President Bowring.
There you go, man.
Best. I'm Quincy Brown. Thanks for taking my call. Youthquake came on first.
All right. Thank you, Quincy. Thank you. I'd share a few things based on what the last caller just shared, but let's read this first from one of our listeners. It says, the continuous granting of PR and status may reduce the number of work permit holders, which also reduces government revenue and makes it appear that the number of Caymanians has increased. The more desirable solution for Cayman is to keep more people on work permit, maintaining the rollover policy with a quota per year on how many people can apply for PR and status. These measures will provide greater stability and offer certainty and tools which would allow us to better manage the immigration dysfunction that we have today. Well, to Quincy Brown, 2 or 3 people, 3, I've said, excellent call, Quincy, thanks for your contribution. If we would listen and we would allow others to share, if we are prepared, to lend, ears to hear, we might actually find there's more, that we have in common. We are more alike than we are different. To Quincy's point with the Youth Parliament, the question has to be asked, to what extent over the years have those who participated, despite the, from what we can understand, the purpose, of the Youth Parliament, and as it trains and exposes and introduces the children to those hallowed chambers, that they were for Caymanian children. Many have asked, are they in fact, the children of Caymanians who are in the Parliament? Perhaps that would explain why there aren't that many who, from that cohort, enter into politics. And if by so doing, are we somehow sending a message for what the future will look like? Well, let's find ways to join hands and hearts. To the gentleman earlier who, spoke of the people who are here, who we see, out and about doing something in a very positive way relative to, participating in some of the social issues in a civilized way. To say to the wider society, we're not in favor of this thing, or we're championing this thing. If we all, are here and have united hands and hearts to ensure the continued stability of Cayman, its economic stability, its social stability above all, then maybe our alliances and allegiances should be to the country as we build, a stronger society that is not just stable, but one sees, as best as possible, greater participation. All right, tomorrow is another day. Let's find ways that we can focus on solutions, recognizing that there are problems, but all it means is redefine that that thing didn't work, so let's try something else. Come back tomorrow for more Talk Today. Got a couple of things in store for you. God's willing, we'll be a part of it. Until then, be blessed.
Talk Today is brought to you by Subway, open 24 hours in Countryside, Anderson Square in Georgetown, and Centennial Towers in West